existence at last found peace.
I have heard the news already. Tesman sent me a card.
Well, yes, he promised me he would. But nevertheless, I thought that to Hedda, here in the house of life, I ought myself to bring the tidings of death.
She died quite peacefully, did she not?
Yes, yes, her end was so calm, so beautiful. And she had the unspeakable happiness of seeing George again, bidding him goodbye.
Won't you sit down?
Oh no, thank you, my dear Hedda. I should like to, but I have so much to do. I must prepare my dear one for her rest as well as I can. She shall go to her grave looking her best.
Is there anything that I can do to help?
You must not think of it. Hedda Tesman must have no hand in such mournful work, nor allow her thoughts to dwell on it either, not at this time.
One is not always mistress of one's own thoughts.
Yes, indeed, it is the way of the world. At home we shall be sewing a shroud, but here there may soon be sewing too, but of a different sort if God wills.
You are back.
Oh, Aunt Julia, you here with Hedda, eh?
I was just going, my dear boy.
You will feel very lonely now, Miss Tesman.
At first, perhaps, yes. But that will not last very long. I dare say I shall find an occupant for Rena's little room. There's always some poor invalid or other in want of nursing.
Would you really take such a burden upon you again?
A burden? Oh, God forgive you, child. It has been no burden to me.
But what if you had a complete stranger on your hands?
Oh, one soon makes friends with sick folk. Besides, it is an absolute necessity for me to have someone to live for. Ah, well, heaven be praised, there may soon be something in this house to keep an old aunt
Do not
busy.
bother yourself about anything here.
Just fancy, Auntie, what a lovely time we three might have together if...
If?
Oh, nothing, Hedda. It will all come right. Let us hope so, eh?
Oh, well, I dare say you two want to talk to each other alone. And perhaps Hedda may have something to tell you too, George. Well, goodbye. I must be getting home to Rena. How strange it is to think that Rena is now with me, and with my poor dear brother as well.
Yes, fancy that, Auntie, yeah.
You know, I always think your Aunt Rena's death affects you more than it does your Aunt Julia.
It's not that alone, Henry. It's poor Ryan that I'm so terribly
Is there
uneasy.
something new about him?
Well, I looked into his rooms this afternoon, intending to tell him the manuscript was in safekeeping, but he wasn't home. And then afterwards, I met Mrs. Elston. She said that she had been here earlier this morning, yeah?
Yes, directly after you had left.
She said that he had torn his manuscript to pieces, eh?
So he declared.
Well, he must be completely out of his mind, and I suspect you thought it best not to give it back to him, eh?
No, he did not get it.
But of course you told me that we had.
No. Did you tell Mrs. Austin?
No, I thought I'd better not. But you ought to have told him. Where is the manuscript, dear? I'll take it to him at once.
I have not got it.
You have not got it?
I have burnt it.
Burnt?
Every line of it.
Burnt on its manuscript? Why, good God, no.
Perhaps so the servant would read.
Do you know what you have done, Henry? It's unlawful appropriation of lost property. Just ask Judge Bracker.
I advise you not to tell Judge Brack, or anyone else for that matter.
What put it into your head, dear? What possessed you, eh? Answer me that, Hedda.
I did it for you.
For me?
Well, you said this morning that you envied him his work.
Oh, but dear, I didn't mean that literally.
Well, I could not bear for anyone to put you in the shade.
Oh, Hedda, but I never thought you'd show your love like that before, dear.
Well, I should tell you that just at this moment. No, you can ask Aunt Julia. She will tell you.
I always think I understand you. Great heavens!
Auntie, the servant is going
the
to see you.
servant? Why, how absurd you are, Henry. It's my old Berta. Why, I'll tell Berta myself.
Oh, it is killing me! It is killing me, this George.
What is that, dear?
All of this absurdity.
Absurdity? Dear, do you see anything absurd about me being overjoyed at the news, eh? Perhaps I better not say anything to Berta then.
Well, why not that too?
Well, no, but I must certainly tell Aunt Julia, and that you've started to call me George, too. Oh, she'll be so happy. So happy.
When she hears that I have burnt our little old boy's manuscript, for your sake.
No, dear. By the way, this affair of the manuscript, of course nobody must know. But that you love me so much, dear. And yet the manuscript. Good God, it is terrible to think what will become of it now, eh?
Hedda, Hedda, forgive my coming again.
Dear, what is
I'm
wrong?
dreadfully afraid something has happened to Isla Clubboard.
Well,
think so?
Lord, I won't put that into your head, Mrs. Elster.
I heard him talking about him at my boarding house just as I came in. The most incredible rumours are afloat about him today.
Well,
What did they say to you?
I couldn't make out anything clearly. Something about the hospital.
a hospital.
Either they knew nothing definite or else they stopped talking when they saw me and I did not dare to ask. So I went to his lodging.
And you didn't find him there either, eh?
And the people knew nothing about him. He hadn't been back since yesterday afternoon.
Oh, yeah, yesterday. How did they say so, eh?
Sure, something terrible must have happened to him.
How would it be if I were to go and make some inquiries,
No,
eh?
do not mess yourself up in this affair.
Is that you, my dear Judge?
Yes, it was apparent if I see it this evening.
I see that you have heard the news about Aunt Rita, eh?
Yes, that among other things.
Well, has anything else happened?
Yes, indeed.
Something about Isla Clubboard?
What makes you say that, madam? Perhaps you have heard something already.
No, nothing at all, but...
How was it, my dear Judge?
I regret to inform you that Eilert Lovborg has been taken to the hospital. He is lying at the point of death.
At the point of death.
And you parted in anger. I must go to him. I must see him at once.
It's useless, madam. No one will be admitted.
Well, at least tell me what has happened. What is it?
You don't mean to say that he has himself...
Yes, I am certain he has.
Himself there?
Shot
Fancy
himself.
that.
It was found he had shot himself in the breast.
God. That he should die like that.
In the breast?
Yes, just as I said.
Not in the temple?
In the breast, Mrs. Tesman.
Oh, yes. That is a good place, after all.
What do you mean?
Nothing.
And tell me, the wound is dangerous, you say, then?
Absolutely mortal. The end has probably come by this
I
time.
fear it, the end. Oh, Hedda.
At last, a deed worth doing.
Good heavens, Hedda, what are you saying?
I
dear?
am saying that there is beauty in this.
How can you talk of beauty in such an act?
Eilert Lovborg has made up his account with life. He has had the courage to do the one right thing.
No. You must never think that was how it happened. It must have been a delirium.
But in despair, dear.
That it was not. I am certain of
In
it.
delirium, just as when he tore up our manuscript.
The manuscript? He has torn that up.
Yes.
We shall never get over this, Hedda, dear, eh?
Very extraordinary.
And to think about that Lovborg going out in the world in this way, and not leaving behind him a book that would have immortalised his name.
If only it could be put back together again.
Yes, if only it could. Well, I don't know what I would not give here, eh?
Perhaps it can, Mr. Testament.
What do you mean?
Look here. I have kept all the loose notes he used to dictate from.
Have you kept them, Mrs. Elster?
I put them in my bag when I left the house, and here they still are.
Show them to me, then.
They're in such disorder.
Well, but if we could only put them back together again, perhaps if we put our heads together, eh?
At least there's time.
No, we'll manage it. We must. I will dedicate my life to this task.
You, George. Your love.
Yes, dear, or at least all the time I can spare. I owe this to Ida's memory. You do understand, dear, right?
Yes, perhaps.
But, we must control our grief as much as possible, Mrs. Elster,
Yes,
right?
I'll do the best that I
Very
can.
well. Well, I can't rest until we've looked through these notes. You will excuse us, my dear Judge, eh? Come with me, Mrs. Elster.
What a sense of freedom it gives one. This act of Eilert Lovborg's.
Freedom, Mrs. Hedda? Well, I suppose it is a sort of release for him.
I mean for me. It gives me a sense of freedom to know that an act of deliberate courage is still possible in this world. An act of spontaneous beauty.
Oh, dear Mrs. Hedda.
Oh, I know what you were going to say, but you were a sort of specialist too.
Eilert Lovborg meant more to you than you're willing to admit yourself. You're wrong.
I do not answer such questions. I only know this. Eilert Lovborg has had the courage to live life after his own fashion. And then this last great act with its beauty, that he should have the will and the strength to turn away from the banquet of life so early.
I fear I must dispel an amiable illusion.
Oh, illusion.
Eilert Lovborg did not shoot himself voluntarily.
Have you concealed something?
And for poor Mrs. Elsted's sake, I idealised the facts a little.
And what are the facts?
Firstly, he is already dead, without regaining consciousness.
What else have you concealed?
The location of the event.
Oh, that can make no difference.
Well, perhaps it may, for you see he was found shot in Mademoiselle Diana's
That is
boudoir.
ridiculous. He cannot have been there again.
He was there this afternoon. He Went there, he said, to demand the return of something. Talked wildly about a lost child.
So that is fine. But there he was found.
Yes, there, with a pistol in his breast pocket. Discharged. The ball had lodged in a vital part.
Yes, in the breast.
No. In the bowels.
What? That too? Why is it that everything I touch turns ludicrous and mean?
There is one more point, Mrs. Hedda.
What is that?
The pistol he carried.
What of it?
He must have stolen it.
Did not steal it? That is ridiculous.
No other explanation ought to be possible.
Hedda, dear,
Hush.
it's almost impossible to see in there. How would it be able to use your writing table, dear, eh?
Well, yes, if you like. Wait, let me clear it for
Oh,
you.
there's no need, dear. There's plenty of room.
No, it's quite all right. I shall take these upstairs. What were you saying about the pistol?
That he must have stolen it.
Why still?
Because no other explanation ought to be possible.
Indeed?
Islet Lovebug was here this morning, was he not?
Yes.
Were you alone with him?
Part of the time.
Did you not leave the room for a moment?
No.
Try to remember, did you not leave the room for a moment?
Perhaps for a moment out in the hall.
Where was the pistol case during this time?
It stood on my writing desk.
Have you looked since to see if the pistols are still there?
No.
Well, you need not. I saw the pistol Islet Lovebug carried with him and recognized it instantly as the one I had seen yesterday.
Do you have it?
No, the police have it.
What will the police do with it?
Search until they find the owner.
Do you think they will succeed?
No, Hedda Gabler. Not so long as I say nothing.
And if you do not see nothing?
Well, then there is always the possibility the pistol was stolen.
Death, rather than that.
People say such things, they don't do them.
If the pistol was not stolen, and the owner was discovered, what would happen then?
Then, Hedda, then comes the scandal.
Scandal?
Yes, the scandal of which you were so mortally afraid. Both you and Mademoiselle Diana will be brought before the court. She will have to explain how the thing happened, whether it was an accident as he drew the pistol out of his pocket, or whether she tore the pistol from his grasp, shot him, and pushed the pistol back.
But I have nothing to do with this repulsive business.
No, but the question still has to be answered. Why did you give him the pistol? And what conclusions will people draw from the fact that you did give it to him?
I did not think of that.
Well, fortunately, there is no danger so long as I say nothing.
Then I am in your power, Judge Rock.
Well, do not worry. I shall not abuse my privilege.
I am in your power nevertheless, subject to your will and your demands. Slave then.
People generally get used to the inevitable.
Perhaps. How are we getting along over here, Tesman, eh?
Heaven knows, dear. In any case, it will be the work of months.
Well, fancy that. You just look at you, Taylor. Sitting here with my husband, just as you used to sit with Islet Lovebug.
In fact, I only inspired him in the same way.
Well, that will come too with time.
Do you know, Hedda, dear, I think I start to feel something of the sort. But won't you go in and sit with Brack again, eh?
Is there nothing I can do here?
No, nothing in the world. I take it you will keep Hedda company, my dear Judge, eh?
Oh, with the very greatest of pleasure.
Thank you, but I am quite tired. I shall go and lie down for a moment.
Yes, do, dear, eh? Don't play the piano tonight. Think of Islet and a poor Aunt Rena too.
Yes, and the
Mrs. Elson, it's no good her seeing us at this distressing work. How would it be if you were to take the empty room at Aunt Susie's and we can work there until evening, eh?
I can hear what you're saying, Tesman. But what am I to do with myself out here all alone?
Well, I dare say Judge Brack will be kind enough to look in now and then, dear.
With all the pleasure in life, Mrs. Tesman. We shall get on capitally, we two.
Yes. Don't you fancy yourself that we shall? Now that you are the one cock in the basket.